Is this really a possibility? If it is, this is really frightening. WHO Envoy says we may never develop a coronavirus vaccine, warns the world must prepare to defend against constant threat. This is on WND. The race underway worldwide for the vaccine against coronavirus, novel coronavirus, COVID-19, but one might never be developed according to the World Health Organization Envoy, who's saying there are some viruses that we still do not have vaccines against. This is by Dr. David Nabarro. This is what he told CNN. He claims we cannot make an absolute assumption that a vaccine will appear at all, or if it does appear, whether it will pass all the tests of efficacy and safety. Nabarro, a professor of global health at Imperial College in London in the UK, said that if no vaccine is developed, the coronavirus would become a constant threat, quote unquote. Outbreaks could return seasonally and lockdowns would need to be tightened and loosened. He says it's absolutely essential that all societies everywhere get themselves into a position where they're able to defend against the coronavirus as a constant threat and to be able to go to about social life and economic activity with the virus in our midst. This is what he explains. Experts are hopeful a vaccine will be developed for COVID-19 because it does not mutate rapidly, but no vaccine was ever developed for SARS or MERS outbreaks, which are caused by a type of coronavirus. By the time the first human trial of a possible SARS vaccine was conducted in Beijing in December 2004, that epidemic was over. Is there another way, though? Vaccines, epidemiologists say, are a means to boost herd immunity, the resistance to the spread of a contagious disease that occurs when a sufficiently high proportion of the population becomes immune, mostly through being infected and building antibodies. The Association of American Physicians and Surgeons explain another way to slow the spread is through the proven anti-malaria drug hydroxychloroquine, which in combination with the antibiotic azithromycin has been used as a prophylactic in some countries. A total of 2,333 patients have been administered this drug in China, in studies in China, France, South Korea, Algeria, and the US. And of these, 2,137, or 91.6%, did improve clinically. But all but 11 were in a single non-peer review retrospective report from the Veterans Administration in which the patients were severely ill. There were 63 deaths. Peer-reviewed studies published from January through April 20th of 2020 show that the hydroxychloroquine may be beneficial in COVID-19, especially when it's used early. The Arizona-based AAPS said in a letter to Arizona Governor Ducey that many nations, including Turkey and India, are protecting medical workers and contacts of infected persons prophylactically. They noted that as of April 27, the deaths per million persons of COVID-19 in the US was 167. In Turkey, it was 33, and in 0.6 in India. After Morocco and Algeria began using hydroxychloroquine, a trend break and sharp reduction of COVID-19 cases fatality rate occurred. And now we need a plan B. President Trump predicted during a Fox News television town hall Sunday that a vaccine would be ready by the end of this year. New York Post said that Dr. Anthony Fauci, the lead health expert on the White House Coronavirus Task Force, said last month it was within the realm of possibility that millions of vaccines could be ready by January of next year. Dr. Peter Hortes, Dean of the National School of Tropical Medicine at Baylor College of Medicine in Houston, sounded a note of caution. He said, "We've never accelerated a vaccine in a year to 18 months. It does not mean it's impossible, but it will be quite a heroic achievement. We need a plan A and a plan B," he said. Nature.com reported researchers around the world are working on more than 90 COVID-19 vaccinations. The Ebola vaccine itself took 5 years. The London-based New Scientist magazine cited a 2013 study finding that between 1998 and 2009, the average time taken to develop a vaccine was 10.7 years. Since then, the Ebola vaccine became the fastest developed vaccine ever, produced in just 5 years. The 2013 study calculated that by experimental vaccine tested has a 6% chance of reaching the market, and of those that make it into the trials, according to a 2019 analysis, the probability of success is 33.4%. So that's not very good. New scientists noted that after a vaccine is approved, there's the issue of scaling up manufacturing to make hundreds of millions of doses. So we'll see what comes of this. This is on WND. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.